Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Razak at CMTrading. Today is March 10, 2023, and today is Friday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, we watched the U.S. markets continue to sell off yesterday. But first, looking at the major economic events of today. So it's the first Friday of the month, which means at 3:30 South African time out of the United States, we have non-farm payroll numbers coming out, and also we have out of Canada unemployment numbers coming out. So two major numbers coming out today. Now, as we look at the various markets, starting out with the Forex symbols, the euro bounces off of its lows while the Canadian dollar still weaker after that rate statement. Now, looking at the indices, the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ both continue to sell off and tumble yesterday. Looking at commodities, gold bounces while oil trickles lower. Looking at the stocks, Tesla trading lower while the rest of the market is just selling off together with the market. And lastly, Bitcoin tumbling as well below 20K. Now let's look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go. We're looking at the Euro USD, and as you can see, we're pretty much bouncing off of that support level of 105.35. We didn't bounce much, okay? It's not a big bounce, but nonetheless, we're still bouncing. So this is really important. If you look at a daily chart, give us some perspective here. We have been in a big rebound, and we're right now in that middle of that correctional move to that rebound where we've hit that 105.39 and then bouncing off of it. So it is very important. However, not out of the woods yet. Okay, so just keep that in mind as we're looking at the Euro USD. Looking at the Canadian dollar, this is the one that's really very important to look at because we're inching closer to that resistance-ish level. And if we did get that breakout at 139 with some gusto, I'm not sure if it's going to happen, but keep an eye on this because the price of oil is coming down and trickling down, and that affects the Canadian dollar tremendously. Now, looking at those commodities, first starting out with gold, bouncing off that 1,816 to 1835, and so it's midpoint before that bounce and then sell off. So we may just see a correctional move here and just we'll be trading between these two ranges. So keep that in mind. I mean, we're right there in the middle right now. Now looking at crude oil, we did trickle lower to 75.29 day by day with not much of a change if we look at a daily chart. And you can see that consolidation. Okay, we've been mentioning this all the time. When we hit 180, you could sell it. When we hit 70, you could buy it. Okay, and that continues to be the case here. Now looking at the US markets, tumbling further, we're looking at a daily chart, and the markets did sell off further yesterday to 32,000 and just bouncing now in the morning hours right before the market opens. So keep that in mind. We do have the NFP, so maybe it was a sell-off before the NFP in order to, bounce it off to maybe give it like a little bit of a scare right before the NFP to make us feel like the markets are much worse off than they are. And then you'll get that balance right afterwards. So that does happen often. Now looking at specifically at the stocks, Tesla was the one that continues to break lower. If you look at it, and the daily kind of ruins it for us. But here, we're looking at a 4-hour chart. And we hit that 209 over last month. But ever since then, we've been just trickling further lower in the anticipation maybe that we are going into a recession and not sure how long this recession will take. Now, looking at the other stocks, they all sold off, but we were on our highs. Okay, so take that into consideration. Alcoa sold Facebook even sold lower, Microsoft sold lower, Apple sold lower, everything just really just showing some weakness going into the NFP, and that's okay because we did have a nice rally and we did get to our current levels. Now lastly, looking at Bitcoin, this is where it becomes a little bit troubling because this is a nosedive, okay? This is a tumble. Below 20K over the last, I would say 2-3 weeks, we went from 25K down to 19,000. That's a significant move. However, it's trading like this. What does that mean? It's trading like this. It means that it's trading very choppy, and it's just these extreme moves, one day upwards, one day downwards, and there's not much rhyme or reason, so it's more market action. So if you're a good scalper, this is the type of market you want to be participating in. So there's an opportunity, but if you're a trend trader, this is not going to be something that you could possibly make money because it's not trending. It's either going extremely high one day or, a month later it goes extremely low another day and just has a sharp sell-off. So that's not really indicative of a trending market. So keep that in mind as you're trading this later today. So again, if you're a market trader, this is really a great environment to be in. This is Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.